Hi, this is a game I played in the Berkshire League earlier this year against Reading. I had white against B.Purton, who's a 190 graded ECF player. So I start off with e4, play d6, so B.Clarke, after d4, knight f6, knight c3, so defending the e4 pawn, and now Ben played c6. You'll see from my diagrams here that it's probably a typical plan in the Perk, or this variation of the Perk, where black aims to go queen a5 and maybe b5 to apply pressure to the e4 pawn if they can kick the knight from c3. So I carried on with bishop g3, which is a standard. I was sort of going for a 150 attack, where white not aims to go queen d2, castle queenside, and later go f3, g4, h4 to try attack the black king once it's castle kingside. Ben played knight g4 here, so attacking my bishop on e3. So black would like to take my bishop because that would result in me having to recapture and get double pawns, and so white wants to keep his bishop on in these lines, and so I play bishop g5. If h6 is played, this is not too bad because white can just play bishop h4 and after g5 and bishop g3, and despite me wasting a lot of moves moving my bishop around, these pawns become very weak for black, and later on I can play h4, applying a lot of pressure to them. So this isn't particularly that good for black. So here after bishop g5, Ben played queen b6. It's immediately attacking my b2 pawn, which is a bit of a problem because normally after this move I'd like to castle queenside, which would defend the b2 pawn, but my queen's in the way, and if I wanted to try to defend the pawn now I might have to go b3, which doesn't look good at all. It just weakens this knight, and any queen a5 is going to be annoying because it's hitting c3 knight and bishop, and I'll have to probably go back here and it's looking very passive. Or I could play queen d2, but the knight's very weak. So after, and things like rook b1 also looks pretty rubbish. So now rook's just behind a pawn, and now I won't be able to castle queenside. So I just played queen d2 here. And I thought, okay, if he doesn't take my pawn, then I'm just going to castle next move and protect it. And if he does take the pawn, then I get quite a lot of compensation here, because after rook b1, the queen has to come to a3, and I have a big, I'm a lot of moves ahead in development here. I've already got my bishop out, my knight's out, my rook's on an half open file, hit against his b7 pawn, which gives problems for black if he tries to develop the bishop on c8. And also I can get my knights out, my other knight out really quickly. My bishop comes to c4. I even might have possibilities of trying to trap the queen as well. So now I played knight f3 here, developing another piece. e6 is played, and I went bishop c4. I thought that d5 looks tempting here for black, and if you played this I think it's just helping me, because after I take, say if he takes and I can notice how this e file becomes very weak for black. I could probably just drop my bishop back on to d3, and after I castle, rook's going to come to e1 check, and if he takes, c takes d4, d5, then knight to b5 is going to be a big problem for black, since I'm attacking the queen, and knight c7 check, winning a rook. So here black just played knight d7, developing the knight. Looks sensible because he wants to play his knight to b6, attacking the bishop, and also this blocks off the rook's attack on the b7 pawn. So I continued with castles, so linking my two rooks together, and also now d5 definitely can't be played because I can take, and if he takes this way I do have the check, which is going to be very dangerous for just winning for white. Therefore Ben carried on with his plan, knight b6, kicking my bishop from the c4 square. So I decided to put my bishop back on b3. It doesn't matter if it's blocking my rook, since my rook's not attacking the b7 pawn anymore. h6 is played, bishop back to h4, keeping the pressure along this diagonal, which makes it hard for this bishop to develop, because as soon as the bishop comes d7 I can probably just take it. And after king takes, it's hard, well, the black king's going to be stuck in the centre. If he ever tries to play e5 as well, so he's always got to be careful, because after he takes, always going to have checkmate on d8. So here Ben plays knight back to f6, since it's in a pretty bad in a bad square at the moment. Knight back to f6, bring it back towards the centre, attacking the e4 pawn. Maybe has plans playing d5. You can certainly play bishop b7. Next move, probably castle, where he's just going to be a pawn up. So I played e5 here, trying to counter attack and not let black get too settled. I noticed here that if I could open up the d file, it's always going to be dangerous because this checkmate. So after d takes e5, you notice now that say if the knight came to g4, then I'll have checkmate. And so therefore Ben plays knight to d5. And now I went knight to e4, immediately threatening c4, where the knight would be stuck. Well, she's going to win the knight, because after the knight moves, once again I have this checkmate. This knight on e4 is very good, because it stops the bishop into e7, because I can just exchange, and I've got this big d6 outpost for my knight. So the queen comes back to a6, where he offered me a draw here, and I declined, as I think I've got a great position despite being a pawn down. Found with Ben wants to play knight to c4 here, attacking my queen, and then maybe b5 supporting the knight. So I went queen d4, ruling out that option. And also, well, queen a6 stops you playing c4. So after queen d4, now I am threatening c4 again, winning the knight. So he plays g5, cutting off this good bishop diagonal. But this has consequences as well. As you've noticed, this f6 square also becomes very weak. So if I can get rid of this knight, my knight can jump into f6 or d6, depending on wherever the bishop goes. So I play my bishop back to g3. Knight came to d7, covering this f6 square. My knight, I now play c4, kicking the knight from a good d5 square. And now c5 is played. So let's drop my queen back to d2. Knight came to b4. Now I improve my position by bringing my rook into the game to d1. Now I have immediate threats of knight to f6 check, and if knight was to take, then there's a queen d8 checkmate again. So bishop e7 prevents this. So I went knight back to c3, which is quite a nice positional move. It's now aiming to go to b5. And to c7 or even to d6, and so black castles here. Right, knight b5 to queen c6. Notice how the knight main retreating square has been blocked by the queen, so I took this chance to play a3, which forces the knight back to a6, which is not so great. And now his position, black's king side's very weak, especially on these on this light diagonal. And so it made sense to play bishop back to c2. At the moment my bishop wasn't doing much. I mean, I did have plans to play my bishop to a4, where I might have a discovered attack on the queen. But I think it's best now to go bishop c2, because I'm immediately threatening to go queen d3, and I've got mating threats on h7. So rook came to d8, which makes sense. It's possibly lining up attacks against the queen, but most importantly, it prepares for the knight to come back to f8, where it defends the h7 square. So here I played queen to e3. So after knight f8, I can now play bishop to I took first, and after bishop takes, then I play bishop to e4. So once again, improving my position, and now you see that after queen d7, black's position is very cramped. So now I added the pressure, knight d6, and after rook b8, sort of getting out this bishop pin. Maybe preparing to go b6. I then played h4. So finally this move comes in, trying to dismantle the black's kingside position. And if g4 is played, then we can see that I can maybe sacrifice the piece, go queen takes here, or just drop the knight back. Some number of possibilities here. So queen e7 is played, defends g5 pawn. But now I've played takes, and knight h2. It's another good positional move because now I threaten to go back knight to g4 and into f6. Where once I go into f6, the queen is no longer defending the g5 pawn, where my queen will be able to take on g5 and deliver mate in the end. So bishop going to d7, probably hoping to, Ben's probably hoping to play bishop c6 here and exchange his bad bishop for white's very active bishop on e4. So as continued, went knight g4, ready to go knight f6, another good outpost on my knight. So king came to g7, but I was playing knight f6 anyway. Now I'm attacking this g5 square. So knight came to g6, took on g5, queen takes d6, so a bit desperate, I guess. I just ignored it, played bishop takes g6, because if the queen moves, I was going to play a discovered attack against the king by moving my bishop and mate him afterwards. So f takes g6, and it's already completely winning for white. E takes d6, bishop takes f6, now bishop e5, and black resigned. So you see, if black tries to defend the bishop with rook f8, then I can just take on b7, and after bishop takes e5, I can play queen to e7 check, picking up this bishop, and then the b7 pawn, and everything is just falling apart for black. So I thought it was a very good game in the end. I think at the start it wasn't right for black to go after the pawn. Well, after I played queen d2, he then took on b2, which is a bit greedy. You know, so I got very quick development. See here where I've already got my rook on a very good half-open file. Bishop's out, knight's out, the other knight's out, the other bishop's out, all on good squares. His only other piece that's out is his knight, which is not even on a good square. It's not even threatened. It's not even doing anything here. And you know, after knight d7, I was castled, and my position is just very good here for the cost of a pawn. So I went on to win this pretty comfortably, I think. Yeah, it's probably one of my better games in the Berkshire League this year. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.